Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock Doc podcast featuring Dr. London Smith, where the guests are wacky and the hosts are tacky and the listeners are illiterate. Introducing your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock Doc podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, Dr. LondonSmith.com. I'd like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as fluid attenuation inversion recovery and she's a skank, so I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
Wow, Dr. London, I'm kind of surprised that you just jumped right into the episode. It's kind of brave of you. You usually, before we start the episode, you usually want to double check your horoscope to make sure it doesn't say anything, like, if you try to do a podcast, you're going to get eaten by something.
I know, but I forgot that I had ordered it. But yeah, I did my 23andMe. I've got my results for what my horoscope is.
Are you? I was hoping. I'm a Sagittarius.
No, I'm a Gemini.
Wow. So we hate each other, right?
Yeah, I have to assume. But maybe today's different. The horoscope for today might say differently. Like it might say, actually, you guys are friends now.
Actually, you guys get along starting today.
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be really cool. I really hope that it does say that. But should we double check real quick just to
Yeah. So what's
Well, for you today, what is today, Dr. London? Let me check the date. What is it?
Does the year matter for this stuff? It's the year of the horse?
Nope. I think it's the year of the teeny tiny little grasshopper.
Okay.
It's the tiniest little grasshopper you've ever seen.
Okay, so we'll have to factor that in with the horoscope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think you multiply it.
Yeah, no, that's right. It's, but by the way, I'm sorry. It's, people treat this stuff casually sometimes, but there's so much math involved in horoscopes.
Yeah, it's really complicated and it's honestly annoying. I put off doing it a lot of days just because the math involved kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, I spent, I told you I took 3 semesters of astrology. And like it's, you think you've mastered it after the first course, but like just the amount of math, the formulas, and like, so many variables involved. It's necessary, obviously, but yes. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
Do you want me to read? And what are you again? What did your 23andMe say?
Gemini. I thought it was Scottish, honestly, and so that's.
But you think it's an Italian thing now?
It must be
the way you just said it.
Yeah. I don't want to be offensive by pronouncing it wrong, so.
No, this is actually, it kind of is perfect. It says, you're going to slip on a big old thing of spaghetti, which sounds scary, but if you think of it like getting a free meal, then the whole day's joy is your reward.
Wait, that's the full, did you just finish the quote there from it?
Yeah, that's the end of it. And then I guess we multiply it by the teeny tiny little grasshopper.
Yeah.
And then, so that equals, if you subdivide that, and then that equals, I believe, I guess maybe some grasshoppers will get in the spaghetti that you're going to trip on and then eat.
Yeah.
I guess slip on. You're probably not going to trip on spaghetti. Unless there's a lot of it. Like, if there's a really, really high stack of spaghetti, then sure.
Well, it said slip, right? So I cannot possibly trip.
No. So you should be good in terms of any area that's sort of like, you're kind of knee deep or ankle deep in spaghetti, you should be good.
Yeah. Okay. And
do you want to read mine? Do you have mine?
Yeah, what was yours again?
I'm a Snaggleblarius.
Okay. Snaggledarius. And you, how much, pocket change? What's in your pockets?
Well, I've got one hand in my pocket, Dr. London, and the other one is giving a peace sign.
Okay. So if I take that, and it's the year teeny tiny grasshopper, and Has a grasshopper, is it a wild grasshopper, do we know? Or like I'm wondering, is it domesticated?
You think you're asking if it's settled down yet?
Yeah, start a family.
I mean, I think that's a question you probably need to ask the grasshopper. I don't know why.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just trying to do. Unlike you, I went to school for this to some extent, and
Did someone call for a grasshopper?
Hello. Yes. Okay. Good. This is
I was hopping just outside the train, and I heard someone summon me in, so I crawled in through the crack at the top of the roof, the one by the bathroom, and now I'm here.
Oh, yeah, the one with the little camera up there?
Yeah. What's that for?
That doesn't matter, but this is so great. Dr. London had a really interesting question. What was it again?
Oh.
Yeah, I was just wondering, Mr. Grasshopper, and is it normal for me, to address you as Mr. Grasshopper? What's your name?
Well, it's Dr. Grasshopper.
Dr. Grasshopper. Okay, well, that's why I asked.
I went to medical school for an entire breeding cycle. I think I should be called doctor.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and so if you were in school, well, I guess I should, because the way you say that makes me think that you missed the breeding cycle. But have you, kind of...
I wouldn't say I missed it, if you know what I mean.
Oh, wow, you got laid a lot in school. I mean, Dr. London, are you going to ask the question?
During the breeding, yeah.
There's a lot of buildup for a question. I don't even remember what it was.
Yeah, so I was just wondering, because...
Yes, doctor.
Just to contextualize it for you, the reason I'm asking is because this will factor into the equation, because it's the year of the grasshopper.
The year of the tiniest little grasshopper.
Grasshopper, which is presumably how got past security. So, Dr. Grasshopper, have you settled down and become domesticated?
A bit, and I'm kind of calm right now, although if enough of my fellows get in a room and we're all touching each other, and we will go fucking nuts and become a locust, so we can't get too domestic because things go bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, are you married, or?
We don't really do marriage.
We, meaning, doctors?
Educated, professional grasshoppers, yeah.
So I guess that really answers your question, Dr. London.
Yeah, no, that really, the math is working here. Okay. So,
do you want to go ahead and stomp on the grasshopper here, and we can just...
Yeah. I just send my consulting fee out the window if you could. Just some fresh... Just.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to stomp you unless you jump away.
Oh.
Did I get him?
Oh, you got your foot stuck in the window, but...
Yeah, my foot's stuck in the window and it's bleeding. So that something has happened. I just don't know what that thing is.
Okay. Well, sorry. I didn't mean to make it a whole thing, but I guess now that I know, that does answer all. Okay, so your horoscope, Cameron.
Yes.
As a Sabaldarius is you will look outside the window today and you'll enjoy the view. But then you will get tired of it and go sleep, take a nap.
No. Today?
That is for today.
No. I'm supposed to pick up my kid today, but I guess I'm not going to have time to do that.
Aww. No? I mean, but it's a horoscope. You can't just ignore it.
Yeah, no, I'm not like an idiot.
Okay. So anyway, that's our producer Cameron and the Dr. Grasshopper. Also with us is Did You Know in the House? Did you know in the house?
I'm kind of calm right now, although if enough of my fellows get in a room, we will go fucking nuts. Things go bad. Things go bad. Things go bad. Things go bad. If enough of my fellows get in a room, things go bad. Things go bad. Things go bad. Things go bad. Things go bad.
later, Cameron tells us we can expect a special guest. And that's based off of the horoscope, right?
Let me check. What I think for this you have to do the whichever the sign is for the podcast.
Okay.
So like, because the podcast, what is the podcast? I'm a Snaggumilarious. You're a Jamani.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think
and when was a podcast? Well, the podcast has they done an Ancestry.com, 23andMe?
No.
Has a podcast done that?
Not that I know.
Okay,
If
well,
DJ Dylan is probably more in charge of that, probably.
Okay.
Yes.
So I guess we just have to get a blood sample from
But we can probably guess.
the podcast.
We can probably guess that it's like a Dribra.
Okay, well, I just want to... So, you can't just guess at a horoscope.
If you don't think it's a Dribra, you're an idiot. So let's just assume the podcast's thing is a Dribra.
It's a Dribra.
And it says that we have one guest today.
Okay.
That's what the horoscope says.
I mean, it's nice to say that, but, like, this is a science. It's not a... You can't just guess at this stuff. So
it's not like medicine, It's not an art form like medicine.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, I would like to move on here, but let's see. Before we do move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. As our marketing demographics have changed to a slightly more illiterate crowd, you listener, we've run the numbers, and Cameron, I'm correct on this, right? The numbers are still showing this.
Let me double check. It looks like our numbers have adjusted a little bit. So, to just as a refresher, for the last few months, our Google Analytics have told us that all of our listeners are between the ages of 45 and 55 and are illiterate. It does say now that has broadened to 40 to 54 and 2/3.
Okay, 40 to 54 and 2/3.
Let me double check. 2 and 2/3.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm writing that down.
So when I say broadened, it did go down a little bit.
Okay, good. So we're appealing to a younger age group. Still can't read or write. Okay, no, that's good.
Well, you say a younger age group, they do all believe that they were born in the wrong generation. So they're kind of old souls.
Okay. So that's the demographic, and the nature of the feedback has changed along with that. So
that's true.
This week's feedback comes in the form of a stinky diaper. So we have some listeners who are actually they're pretty potty trained, but sometimes they will regress in that training when they get mad or confused, and so. But what I was saying.
And how was this sent in? Was this like address and stamp straight on the diaper, or was the diaper in a box?
This was both. Like it was addressed, put in a box. Like it looked like they forgot the steps because it was one inside the other, and they paid extra for stamps. It looks like.
Oh wow!
But I do want to say, by the weight of this diaper, it does seem as though this listener may be confused, but found a great temporary solution. So I want to give props where they're due. Like they found a great way to sort of substitute methods.
Well, it sounds like this listener is either saying that you as a doctor are duty, or they're saying, I think something's wrong with my stool. Should it be this heavy?
Okay, yeah.
What is wrong with me?
There's some heft to it.
Do you want to choose which one of those you want to address, or maybe you can address both?
Well, I don't want to publicize it over much, just the fear factor. But, I do run stool samples with every stool I find. Like I run it through the tests. So this one,
and
you know what? Our listener is doing great. They're very healthy. Very little blood.
Well, what's their sign? Does the info tell you that?
Yeah.
Their horoscope sign?
They're a Donald Glenn. A Donald Glenn.
Oh no! That sucks. That sucks for them.
Yeah, but they're our listeners, so they have a Donald Glenn, and anyway, and a stinky diaper.
That sucks.
Okay, well, anyway, that's great problem solving is what I say about that, because it's worse to go potty in your pants. So this is a step up. So anyway, thank you to that listener for listening and for sending this in. Now for today's medical topic, gynecomastia. Gynecomastia is an increase in the size of the breast. It can arise from Klinefelter syndrome, hyperprolactinemia, which we've covered before, and from certain drugs like spironolactone, opiates, oral ketoconazole, and estrogen. It can also be caused by liver and renal failure when they elevate prolactin levels, and from testicular lesions because Sertoli cells in the testes, they will make estrogen. So testing should be done.
So this is big titty disease is sort of what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, or bigger at least. Yeah.
Yeah. This is an issue, or is this like a life hack? If you don't want to have to pay for breast augmentation?
Well, I guess it could be perceived a certain way. I'm seeing it as a problem though, because they're elevated. Something is going on in the body or with the side effect from medications that could be, negative for the person. It usually comes with a clinical illness. So.
Oh wow! Yeah. And it's just huge melons. Yeah.
So testing should be done to exclude all those disorders, or to treat them. Identify and treat them. And mammography should be done to exclude cancer in these patients with gynecomastia. Treatment is with tamoxifen, testosterone replacement if there is a testosterone deficiency, and surgery for refractory and idiopathic cases. So that's just...
Oh, so they're saying get some surgery, get a boob job if you want like extra huge melons.
Yeah,
But if you just want like a standard solid Hooters, if you just want a handful, then just go ahead and just get this disease. You said what? You put something in your testicles?
No, I'm saying like if there's a disorder that like your Sertoli cells in your testes could make estrogen. It's usually not the most positive thing, and sometimes it doesn't. It happens in males. So
yeah, I mean, like some people like them small, so like obviously, not everyone's like the boob guy that I am or whatever, but like, so like I get it. Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. Okay. I get. Do you want to just move on from there? I think we're okay.
I love this subject. This is my favorite medical lesson in a really long time.
Well, hopefully we'll just let's just leave it behind because it's I don't. I think we did it, and it's good to see you enthusiastic about medicine. But no, let's go ahead and be done there. All right, Cameron, you said that we have a guest today. Is that right?
Well, let me check the horoscope again, just to make sure it hasn't changed. It does change, like I think 4 times a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're still good. Yes, we do have a guest for today.
Okay. Hello there. My name is drlondonsmith.com, and this is our producer, Cameron. What was your name?
Hi.
Me?
Yes.
Yes, you.
I am Bart Bartalow, the #1 lingerie salesman east of Nevada.
Oh, wow. Hi, Bart.
Hi there. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I just hope you didn't get the wrong impression. So we are moving on from the medical topic. Like we covered it.
Sure.
The whole gynecomastia thing, that's not really like we're just ready to learn about you and what you're about. So
yeah, I don't have much to do with gynecomastia. Usually that's an undesired condition corrected by surgery. Yeah. I'm more of just a bra salesman. Oh, a bra and other kinds of lingerie salesman guy. I've been in the business about 50 years now. Seen the rise and fall of Victoria and her so-called secret.
Did you find out what the secret was?
Yeah, the secret is it's been a guy all along, and I was kind of owned by, a hedge fund or something.
Okay.
And they kind of cut rates on stuff, and they have vanity sizing, and it causes body issues, and they don't know how to fit for crap. It's a whole mess over there.
Okay.
Oh wow. So they're sort of the big chain store. They don't have any care for their work. It's just
they're the
mass
Walmart,
produced.
the bras,
Yeah. You're more of like on the indie side of things.
Yeah, I've been working for a family lingerie factory, Thompson and Harcourt.
Okay.
right out of Plainsville, Indiana.
Wow. When you say you're a salesman, are you like on the phone? Are you on the floor? Are you selling in bulk to corporations?
I'm on the phone. I am on the floor. I'm talking to the catalog guys. I'm out there door to door if I got. I'm at the
wow.
trade shows. I'm all over the place.
Now, are you a supplier? Like, do you sell to major retailers?
We do a bit of white label business, but these days we're mostly niche. We have a whole lot of legacy customers, and we do
wow.
custom fittings, which is almost impossible to find.
And by legacy customers, you mean they're
Old
really
ladies.
old, is what you're saying? Yeah, just really old.
They've been buying, since I started, and they still need the bras. In fact, they need them more than ever. So,
I mean, Dr. London, you were looking for a present for you said you're a great-great-grand teacher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's pretty old, right?
Yeah, and she keeps tripping on her on the breast part. And so
Right.
what she was saying, like, is there just a way, like, we can hoist them up, or like, is there a winch system?
I would never typically
like
suggest something like a winch for a woman's body, but it sounds like she would probably benefit from something with a bit more support than normal. Probably wider, softer straps. That's usually more desirable in the older age. There has been a fad lately of these, like, almost all fabric bras. And those can be more comfortable, but if you need really serious support, it may not be the best, especially as they do tend to stretch over time.
Well, and you said it's a fad, right? I mean, you don't want to buy her something that's going to be out of style in a couple of years, Dr. London.
Yeah. She likes to keep up with trends, but like in 5-decade blocks. So like whatever's popular for 5 decades, she just kind of generally does trends that way instead of.
I've never seen any kind of bra being fashioned for 5 decades, honestly.
Well, and
the whole technology has changed. I mean, you honestly can't even get the same kind of bra that you could get 50 years ago.
Is it like the car industry where they break down a lot quicker and easier now?
That is a good question. I think there might be some of that. Well, especially if you buy a Victoria's Secret bra where they cheap out on the fabric, they cheap out on the underwear,
wow,
they cheap out on the clasp, they cheap out on the whole thing. Those are gonna wear down. But if you wash them like you're supposed to, and sorry ladies, yes, a hand wash is still best. I know it's annoying, but if you hand wash those things and you dry them on a rack, nice and carefully, they're gonna last you a good long while. But fabric does just wear out over time, especially now. I don't know if you fellas noticed, but a bra, your like typical bra, works kind of like a suspension bridge.
Okay, yeah, my great grand teacher was talking a lot about how she needs a full suspension bridge to hold this bad boy up.
Well, the purpose of the garment is to support the bosom in a way that's comfortable, and also to distribute the force evenly across all the parts of the garment. For example, if your straps are too loose, or if your band is way too big, the bra's gonna sag, the band's gonna ride up in the back because all of the force, all of the weight and gravity is leaning into the cups, and because the straps and the band are not adjusted right, and they don't fit right, it's all distributed unevenly and it's badly uncomfortable. That's why it's really important to get a bra that fits.
She did talk about this problem. I'm sorry, just how for years she only had a bra that could hold one of the breasts, and so it was super uneven.
That is shocking. She would benefit from looking into the Cacique line from Lane Bryant.
Oh well, so you're advertising sort of other brands.
We just don't make the kind of bra that's worked for her.
Oh, okay.
I think she'd be better off getting a Cacique brand. They're a little bit pricey, but nowadays they're kind of hard to beat for her situation.
Oh yeah, her budget is $4.
Yes.
That's going to be tough. I mean, but she can look on herroom.com, which is a excellent place that where you can get bras that were in trend a season ago. They can't sell them in stores anymore. Herroom.com picks them up for a secondary market, and you can get high-end bras for sometimes even half the price of what you would normally pay retail.
Wow.
And do they accept Klarma? Because she is going to have to split this up over 4 payments.
I don't know if they use Klarma or not, frankly.
Okay, well, that's
That's a good question.
If she can finance it, that would be really, really useful.
Well, I gotta look. This is your great grand teacher, and you're looking out for her. You can't afford to help her out with just one bra. You don't have like $70 you could scrape together.
Well, all of our finances are really tied up right now. Like, we're just not liquid. We have
Sure.
We've
well,
done
thank
a lot.
God they're not liquid because they're tied up. So the rope is holding it. The area where we kept most of the cash has flooded, and so we had to hoist it up on sort of a rope pulley system, and so it's sitting in a sack over this kind of flooded basement area.
Mm-hmm. And we had to do it dollar by dollar as well, just because.
Yeah.
Because you're afraid of, because like, you know how you have to, if you have books that get wet, you have to separate every leaf of the book. It's the same with the dollars.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
we're so just anticipating if one gets wet. So
you got to do the thing where you use the string that you use to dry the clothes, but it's a single clothespin. It's one for every $1, and then you're out of clothespins, and after about $20, and then what do you do? Yeah.
I mean, we would have to do that for $1 million because that's how much we have.
You got $1 million in there?
We have exactly $1 million, and it's
and you have no way to extract 70 of those dollars to get this poor woman a nice fitting bra?
I wish I knew
not
a
without
way.
getting our shoes wet.
Tell you what, after the podcast, I don't mind getting these shoes wet. These are my salesman shoes. They can go into any kind of weather. I've mudded through creeks to sell bras in these things. I'll go in there. I'll get the $70 out. We can get her a nice cacique bra from Lane Bryant in the style of her choosing.
Well, you do have to be really careful because one problem we've had is that our money, if it gets wet, it does start to smudge quite a bit.
Oh, I see.
So you got to be really careful. It doesn't get any moisture on it.
As a secondary point, we've had so many people offer to help us already, and there's a line.
A whole line of crazy characters and odd fellas down there.
I mean, some of them seem nice enough, but yeah, like, I mean, like, there was one guy who, like, he stopped me and he was like, "Give me all your money." And I was like, "Look, man," I explained to him the situation. And he was like, "Okay, well," but I guess it's very similarly to your answer, which was, I'll make it happen. Like, if this is the issue. And I was like, "Okay, man, if you want." So there's, a huge line. And it's frustrating because we've had to get bouncers now. And it's like, we can't pay them.
How are you? Yeah, I was going to say, how are you paying those bouncers
No,
here?
they are angry.
Well, they're in the line too. They're going to get payment once they get to the front.
They're at the front of the line. Okay, that makes sense.
I should explain my great grand teacher, because I know it's sort of a non-traditional concept.
Yeah.
So back at university, I had my astrology teacher, and her astrology teacher, she had her own astrology teacher, and that's the relationship. Just to clarify.
Get you.
Yeah. So
and that woman is this very saggy boobed woman with a real problem.
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
Okay, now look, Cameron, you said it's a real problem, but you call her saggy boobed. I don't know if that's
I mean, is there a more technical term? Should I just say Dr. London is saying she's tripping over them.
Yeah, I should clarify, because of the issues she's had with finding only one. Basically, it was the might of one full bra powering the holding up of just one side. And she could only afford so much. So there is one that she's tripping on, and then the other one is like really like kind of normal.
Yeah, gorgeous actually.
Well, it's referred to as protractomastia, and it is again a soluble problem as long as we just get her $70, get her a nice cacique, make sure it fits right. And
I love the idea.
I got a gal who can come do a correct measurement on the band size and stuff, and we can get her all set.
Well, do you guys take like invention ideas? Because I just thought of a new bra that might be perfect for her.
Legally, I'm not supposed to because you could sue. But as a favor to my friend, the good doctor, why don't you go ahead and lay it on me, and we'll just pretend, this is a casual, non-business conversation.
It's like sending in an unsolicited spec script.
Exactly.
They're not allowed to read it because if any idea overlaps, well, then they're liable. So if you try to steal this, buddy. But I'm thinking, what if there was sort of like a track system on the ceiling of whatever room she's in at any given time, right? And then hanging from the ceiling is the bra that is sort of, so think of it as like Peter Pan in a play. You know what I mean? You've got that pulley system that's going back and forth, but she's not flying or anything. She's just walking around her house, but she's being supported and everything is being hoisted up by this sort of rope and pulley system, these kind of bungee cords attached to the ceiling. Yeah, that seems way simpler.
Compared to what I was trying to, like all the ways I was trying to think to get access to our money, like that's way easier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could just use that to get all the cash out of the basement there. That's sort of a Peter Pan system.
I'm trying to think of how that, because the thing is,
we're pretty far back in the line. There's a lot of people in front of us in the line to help, so.
You're not allowed to get it into your own basement to get your own money?
Oh no, we're allowed.
People will get pissed off.
We're not jerks, if that's what you're asking.
Are these folks lined up inside the house to the door of the basement, or is there a storm door outside way to get down to the basement?
It's a mix of both at this point.
Yeah, it kind of splintered, and no one has been sort of confident enough in which line is the right line. You know when that happens?
Oh, there's two lines. Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
that's no
and then
good.
It kind of merges into one because it kind of just went off in different directions. It's one of those,
right?
Yeah, we had a velvet rope, but it did not stretch far.
Plus, if that velvet gets wet, it's a mess.
I wish we lived in the UK where everyone knows how to queue properly. Everyone loves to queue there, and that's so great.
Oh, gee, yeah. They love queuing up there.
Yeah, it's a hobby, go on vacation, thing. What do you want to do today? Oh, let's set up a queue.
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't, that was my British accent. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought someone else walked into this train here for a second.
Now, Bart, why are you here?
Why am I here? To fantastic question.
Yeah, like, are you here? Do you have something like new that you're trying to sell? Do you have medical questions or?
I did have a medical pitch for the doctor.
Okay.
Now, as you may or may not know, bra measurements are not really based on the human body.
They're based on monkey bodies?
Horoscopes.
They're just not. They're just not really based on any kind of human thing. That's why they only come in even numbers like 34, 36, 38. They generally are manufactured in those odd, like 2-inch jump sizes, right? And even then, doctor, did you know 36A doesn't have to be 36? There's no rule that says it has to actually be 36 inches. If you manufacture a 38 band bra and you use black dye, the black dye actually shrinks the fabric more than any other color. So it actually might come out closer to a 37. But you can still label it a 38, or you could label it 36. And someone who's usually a 38 buys that black version of that bra, and it's way too tight. Or someone who's a 36 buys this black 38 that's labeled 36. Then it's way too big, and then they feel horrible about their bodies. It causes a weird crisis. It's uncomfortable. There's returns, a lot of shipping back and forth. So I was wondering, maybe you wanted to come up with to work with me on a way to create a new bra size that actually relates to something about the human body. A new system, and maybe it's something that kind of takes into account the fact that bodies are different, which is, again, a feature lacking from the bra industry.
You came to us and you want me to completely reinvent how you do business for your work, and I don't get paid at all, is what I'm... Or yeah. Is there...
Right.
Yeah, are you ready to do that, Dr. London?
You'd be in on the patent for the new system.
Oh,
okay,
so
yeah.
You'd get a patent. That counts.
And then also, folks would write papers about the thing, and then you get your citation numbers up.
Well, almost everything on your Wikipedia says citation needed. Aww. A lot of Dr. London's history is like hush-hush. Like, people have the information, but it's a secret. It's things like, where is your medical degree from? And you can call up his college and they'll be like, well, I mean, I'd tell you, but it's kind of a secret.
Have you ever tried calling it on the air?
DJ Dylan, do we have that technology?
Yes.
Okay. I guess we could. Do you want to try?
Oh, sure. I was just curious if you've ever done any kind of like history episode, but we can call it now if you want to call it now.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested. DJ Dylan, go ahead and ring it up.
Yes.
Hey, hi there. I'm Bart Bartalow, the #1 lingerie salesman east of Nevada, and I'm just calling to check on the credentials of one Dr. London Smith.com.
Hush, hush. Okay. Wow. And it's done.
Yeah, they just hung up, I guess. There.
Okay. Well, I at least heard a hush, hush.
I mean, they didn't say he didn't go here, so I guess technically.
If we're going to be reinventing bra sizes, can we do away with the idiotic A, B, C, D system? Because then you're limiting yourself to only 26 options.
You're not wrong there. Although, the thing is, they're all relative, you know? And it's a measurement of the cup volume calculated by the difference between the underbust and the overbust measurement.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we can sort of take a lesson from astrology here, and maybe instead of using A, B, C, or 32, 33, we use just kind of animals, right?
So, like, someone is a Capricorn?
Yeah, or someone has like a zebra, or like someone has like a lion bra, or like, oh, this bra size is like a capuchin monkey. You know what I mean? And
or this one's a winter jacket.
A winter jacket,
too. We could have those.
Or a tiger, or a tiny little fish, or a big old fish.
I do like it as a branding opportunity. I think it might get confusing if women are trying to go to the store and articulate what size that they are looking for.
Well, they'd consult the chart. They'd be able to check just sort of.
Okay, that's also smart, because if it's our system and we're the ones printing all the charts, we can have a side chart business.
We're basically inventing a proprietary system.
We are.
You've got people locked into this thing where they have to send in their DNA to get a test to figure out what their bra size is, to figure out what animal it falls under.
Double D and me.
That's good. Double D and me. And I just want to clarify, it will be blood samples. We can't just take any DNA. Like, we want to get a good amount.
Yeah.
Because we gotta, like we do for all of our listeners, we have to be able to know everything about them.
Yeah.
It's a whole body package inside and out, right? You're gonna measure which diseases they might be susceptible to. You're gonna craft a custom garment for them. It's a whole custom life laid out in a big roadmap and in a giant chart that we sell at a premium.
Yeah, and then we can tell them, especially like we can test for diseases and then say like, you have something, pay the next fee, the next tier, subscribe, whatever.
There you go. That's smart.
And then if they don't pay for it, we can use that information to then sort of advertise the drugs we know they're going to need in the next few years.
Buy up those companies.
Easy peasy.
So, yeah, easy. Okay.
Easy data.
So I feel like we've mostly figured out the system. We're going to use animals like winter coat and tiger, and then
penguin.
Yeah. But this is one of those things, like we're going to flesh it out once we actually write it down.
Mighty Joe Young.
That's a good one.
Yeah. The Iron Giant.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
All the animals. Okay. So that's what you needed from us?
Yeah, I'll get back in the old drawing room. I'll just start sketching this stuff out. Sounds good to me. And I think women are going to be much happier. I know it sounds crazy that this would be better, but trust me, I think even this would be superior to the system we have today.
So, since we did that work for you, and with you, whatever, collaborating, but
sure,
for you, could we get you to help us with something? Yeah, so
of course,
we have these chores to do. Is the issue.
I'm so nervous to ask. I'm so nervous when we ask this question because I don't know if they're going to say yes or no. Oh my gosh,
I don't know.
I'm going to say yes. I miss having a family, and a chore wheel is a nice reminder of the domestic life I once led.
Oh, wow. We didn't get into anything about your life because we were so fixated on the bra stuff.
It happens.
Wow. Well, let me explain what the hell Dr. London is even talking about when he says the chore wheel. we have been neglecting everything on our to-do list for a really long time now, and so to fix that, we invented this really fun chore wheel, and we put all of our tasks on it, and we spin it every single week, and whatever it lands on, no matter what, we have to do that chore. And Dr. London, even if that chore is de-stringing the candy necklaces, which I know you hate. I know you hate doing that.
Well, it's just
Someone has to do it.
It's been piling up, and
You get sugar all over the hands and they get all weird. Yeah.
You're going to eat the string otherwise. We know this is going to happen, so someone has to do it.
I know, and it's like the amount of surgery I've had to have just to de-string my intestinal tract is
just not worth it.
Yeah. Well, but if you don't do the surgery, then it comes out like it's a whole thing. So yes,
the whole thing. It's a whole string thing.
But I'm hoping it's not this week because I don't want to do it.
Yeah. But Mr. Barlow, could you spin the chore wheel for us? Just give that a. Of
course I can.
You see the big wheel behind us? Just give that thing a big old spin.
Just reach up and.
Oh no! Of course we have to do this.
Is that one big?
We have to.
So bad.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, you can read it.
Do you want to read it?
I was just going to keep talking about how bad it was, but you can read it.
Oh, it's so awful. We have to break a world record.
Jeez.
Unfortunately, for us to still receive the funding, we sort of have an NBA-style contract where we have to meet certain criteria of success over the years to get these bonuses. And one of them is that from Koala Cola, is that we promised we would be in the Guinness Book of World Records by the end of this month.
And sorry, just to clarify for any new listeners, our podcast is a part of the Koala Cola Podcast Network. Koala Cola, the most popular soda in Australia, or so they say.
Yeah, it's huge.
It tastes just like Down Under. Anyway, just want to clarify that.
But I mean, unfortunately, we had a record ready to go. And then we sort of found out that, Dr. London, you weren't actually holding your breath underwater. You had a straw.
Yeah.
You said this is fine, right?
Yeah. And it's
an ethics nightmare.
I stand by it, but once I was in front of the committee, we went through the whole thing, and
which is very expensive to do that and then actually get the award.
Yeah. Well, because they had me in the dunk tank. They dropped me.
Yeah.
And I don't know what.
Did they have the Make-A-Wish kid throw the baseball to dunk you in to start the whole thing?
You won't believe how many Make-A-Wish kids wanted to do this. Once again, long line.
Huge line, yeah.
Most of them were just angry. It wasn't about seeing me in a positive way.
Yikes.
You're here. No, this was revenge.
I guess of all kids, they would like doctors the least.
I was about to say, you have to imagine they have some sort of grudge against the medical community. The medical community that's kind of failed them.
Yeah. Not just a lot of them I did know from. So,
Oh, a lot of them you failed personally.
No, I just some are patients that I've maybe seen before. Just in I barely even.
Yeah.
There's barely any reason for them to have such a personal enmity.
Okay.
So, and all that to say, it got dunked. Mm-hmm. I had a straw, but it was was it the wrong brand? Was that the problem? Because I had one from Sonic.
I don't know. They were really pissed about it. They were like, "You wasted our time."
Yeah.
Why was he underwater for so long?
It was a red straw. If that.
Well, they were immediately they were like, "Oh, you can't have a straw. Let's leave," and they started leaving. The few people that stuck around were kind of like, "Why is he still under that tank for so long?" It's obviously been 5-6 hours. We know he's breathing. We know he's breathing with the straw, and
okay, I couldn't hear all this when I was under.
Yeah, because you were under the water breathing.
Yeah. We were motioning get up, but you clearly thought that we were doing sort of a raise the roof kind of motion or something. Yeah, because he kept doing thumbs up, and you would do the motion back at us, and
it was exciting. I thought it was going great. It's been a weird journey to learn that I didn't what happened over those 6 hours was just a shock to me.
You were kind of in a whole different reality down there.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. I was living this. I was thinking like the past guys only could do it for however many minutes. I'm down here and I'm loving it for one thing.
Yeah. You'd be a float tank guy, Dr. London. You should check out Joe Rogan. He has a lot to say about it.
Oh, I was gonna just say bath time. Bath time's fun.
Bath time is fun.
Oh yeah. He's honestly kind of stupid for not realizing that you already have a float tank in your house and it's your bathtub.
He's dumb for a lot of reasons. He is a stupid man. He once tried to buy a bra from me. He wanted a sports bra, and I said, "You don't need one, Joe." He said, "I want one." I was like, "Okay." I don't know why. And then he put it on. I was like, "Wait a minute. What is this?" I'm like, "That's a sports bra, Joe." He goes, "I thought I was going to be a pal that I would carry on my back like a little kangaroo." I was like, "Where'd you get that idea? Where the hell did you get that idea?" And I just left.
Oh, yeah. It's just that misinformation online he probably came across, and he was like, "Oh yeah, of course a sports bra is going to be a little pouch like a kangaroo."
Yeah, I guess. Not even in his like bottom 5 dumbest ideas, but that was personally a real stupid one.
That's got to be like 6 or 7. But we have to break the record if we want to keep our funding. So let's think of something easy that we can realistically do.
And
as a group.
I want to rule out from the start the going underwater holding your breath with a straw like that.
Yeah, they don't like
well,
that
and
one.
like at this point, like I don't want to do it again. I will if we need to.
I thought you liked it though.
Yeah, but like I liked it when I thought I was winning, you know?
Gotcha. There's some dark memories down there in that tank.
Yeah, pretty disappointing to get back up and just what were you doing for 6, you know? So, but
the sick kids were all yelling and the parents were all screaming. They were throwing the baseballs, I assume. Yeah.
But
kind of a Frankenstein's monster situation.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for recognizing that it's a monster. So, world record. What are we thinking?
All right.
I mean, I don't really want to do anything that requires me to stand up, so that should eliminate a lot of possibilities.
A sitting down record.
Nothing involving running, jumping, leaving my room.
Well, okay, to combine all these ideas here, how about most time spent floating in a bathtub without turning into a right-wing nut job?
Oh, wow. Well, what is the record for that right now? We'd have to see.
And also, can I do that?
It's a bold new frontier.
Yeah. I just
it's sort of like how it's impossible to play the role of the Joker without the actor becoming just completely insane.
Yeah.
Like the odds of you spending that time floating in a bathtub and not coming out of it with sort of fringe ideas is very, very low.
That being said,
it's a good point, Cameron. I hadn't even thought of it. Okay, what about this here?
Well, no, hold on. I think we can explore this because, for one thing, maybe it's okay to open your mind a little bit, you know?
Oh, no, I think we're already in dangerous territory.
Oh, no, I don't like this at all.
So,
the way you absorb information, I think this is maybe just not...
Yeah, this is no good. I'm sorry if you're suggesting it.
This is maybe not the way we should be going. Maybe something... So if we do something involving animals, I know we've talked about animals a lot in this episode, but it's kind of like delegating all the hard work to someone else.
Yeah,
right?
For that, I'd be scared of the animal getting the record. So
that's a good point.
If I think of the Olympics, right, and they've got equestrian stuff, the horse is doing all the work, but the person gets the gold medal.
You don't want to stand up, right, or like be on your feet. About most time spent sleeping in the saddle while on the range.
Oh, that is good. I would love to fall asleep on a saddle.
The horse is doing all the actual walking. You have to literally just sleep through the whole thing, and then you still get the medal because it's about your sleeping time, not about the horse's trotting time.
Oh, and that can honestly be 2 separate records because there can be time and distance.
Genius.
Yeah. We have to make sure that you're not fake sleeping. Is that's the only issue I see, is that you're really good at fake sleeping.
Well, here, now look, maybe we don't publish this part. Assign me as the integrity monitor. I'll just ride alongside and jot down, yay, sleeping, he's winking, he's sleeping, he's snoozing. I'll just jot down the whole thing.
Well, I mean, if we're just gonna do that, then let's just skip it all together and let's just have you say we did something awesome.
Yeah, with your credentials, everyone's going to believe it.
If you can just say, yeah, he's doing it, can you just write down, like, oh, we flew a plane that went 1,000,000 miles an hour?
1,000,000 might be a stretch, but I can get you a little bit above Mach 4, probably.
Is that a record, though? I'm not sure getting us above Mach 4 is going to help us.
In a propeller plane, you better believe it is, buddy.
Oh, wow.
I just want to pitch one more idea there, though. What if the record we already tried for? What if you just said that we did that one? Because I have put in the work already.
The horse sleeping in the thing or the dunk tank one?
No, the underwater.
Right, yeah, look, I have every time there's a Guinness record involving lingerie, I'm the guy who hooks them up with the custom piece, so they kind of owe me one. So I'm going to go back and we're going to recertify your attempt at breathing underwater. We're going to not mention the straw one way or the other in the record, and you'll be the holder.
Okay.
Wow.
That's it.
This is pretty good. I just feel a little left out is the only thing.
You said you didn't want to do anything.
Can I take a nap on the horse saddle anyway?
Do you want to do the horse thing anyway? I got time. I got to head back east for a convention. I wouldn't mind going by horse, so if you want to do it after this.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
All
and
right.
I'm really tired. This is going to be perfect.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I guess we can go ahead and destroy the chore wheel. Yeah.
Destroy it?
So,
all right. Yeah. Why'd she leave me? I missed you, Marianne.
Just really
All right, there
down.
we go. It's my therapy for the week.
Yeah. Best not to go to the other kind. Okay. Well, I guess we're winding up here. So, thank you for coming on, Mr. Bart Bartalow.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Cameron.
Well, before we go, is there anything that you're a fan of? Anything you want to promote?
Yes. When I am in alone in my former familial house, I like to spend my Friday nights at 8 Pacific watching twitch.tv/WizWorld Live, Earth's most magical talk show, and I hear they're going to be on the road at the Shasta Renaissance Fair the last weekend of May in lovely Anderson, California, and the Coronaburg Renaissance Fair last weekend of June in equally lovely Corona, California. WizWorld Live, they're a hoot. Everyone should check them out.
Wow, you heard it here. Equally lovely cities. Thank you again to Mr. Bart Bartalow for sharing your expertise. And thank you to our producer, Cameron. Thank you to Just Don't the Host.
I am Bart Bartalow, the #1 lingerie salesman east of Nevada. Yeah, I've been in the business about 50 years now, seeing the rise and the fall of Victoria and her so-called secret. Seeing the rise and the fall of Victoria and her so-called secret. Victoria and her so-called secret. And the secret is it's been a guy all along. And they kind of cut rates on stuff, and they have vanity size, they get cause body issues, and they don't know how to fit for crap. It's a whole mess over here.
My name is drlondonsmith.com, and this has been the Jock Doc Podcast.
See ya.